prosecution calls the Nike Hyperdunk to take the stand.
DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This is a video that I mentioned last week. I told you I was going to make a video talking about the Hyperdunks that I have worn over the years and my opinion of the shoe. For those of you who don't know, the Hyperdunk is probably my favorite or second favorite ever shoe to play ball in. I'll probably say my favorite just because they've had multiple versions of it, so they kept it going. The other favorite would be the Nike Shox BB4. If those of you who remember back to the year 2000 when Vince Carter had his own shoe, those Shox BB4s was my shit. Those are my favorite shoes. But other than that, it's been a Nike Hyperdunk ever since it came out in 2008. The Kobe jumping over the Aston Martin video, whether he jumped over it or not, whatever. The original Hyperdunk was my favorite one. Still my favorite one out of all these that came out. I got 4 pairs of Hyperdunks here. I got the 2010, 2013, 2014, and 2015. So there's a couple that I'm missing. The original 2008, I had 3 pairs of those. Actually, shit, I got a pair of those. Hold on. I forgot that I had it. Alright, so I had to stand up to do this so I can show y'all each pair that I like. So this is the original 2008 Hyperdunk. This is the special colorway. This was the China colorway because these came out the same year as the 2008 Beijing Olympics. So these was the China ones. I got these off eBay, I think. eBay. So you know it was a long time ago, 2008. I had the original colorway black and I had the original whites, but both of those have been dogged out and dead since then, so they both got thrown away. These I kept because I stopped playing these indoors because the bottom of them got so slick. I couldn't play. I tried to work out in these indoors one day last year and I could barely work out because they had 0, 0, 0 grip. So it might just be because they dirty because I used to play in these outside sometimes, or it might be that the grip was bad. I don't know. So I don't know what to blame it on, but if I play outside, I could wear something like these. I haven't pulled these out of the closet in a long time. I actually forgot that I had them. So y'all saw earlier in the video, I almost forgot that I had these because I ain't pulled them out in a minute. But these are my favorite Hyperdunks. The original 2008. They are super light. I love this tongue right here with the Hyperdunk logo. I like this mesh feeling on the tongue. This outside, this fly wire stuff, this is when they first started doing this. No shoe had that before. This was brand new technology that Nike came out with this particular shoe. Otherwise, the shoe is pretty basic, which I like. Is design is nice, but it's basic. It's not doing too much. Nike tends to do a lot with a lot of the shoes that they put out recently. I don't like when the shoes do too much. That's what I like most about these, is that they were simple, they were super light, and they felt great. And at the time, they got the right guy to advertise these. They got the right guy to endorse them, who was Kobe Bryant. And he was the man at the time, best player in the league at the time, MVP that year. And then going into the 08 Beijing Olympics, you saw his performance out there. So he was the perfect guy. These are my all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorite ball shoes, period. Definitely my favorite Nike Hyperdunk 2008. Nike has not done better with a Hyperdunk since this shoe. Now let's look at what came after that. The next one that came out was the 2010 Hyperdunk. This one I like almost just as much. This is just as light. The design I don't like as much. I don't like this, I don't know what this is, polyurethane, plastic, leather tongue. This tongue I didn't like as much. It's not bad, but I didn't like it as much. It's pretty much just as light. These is pretty dogged out too. I usually wear these like if I'm training somebody and we on an outdoor court, I'll wear a pair of shoes like these because I don't care if they get any more messed up. Still has the mesh tongue, but it's not as good. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more coarse. It still has the fly wire technology, but the sole, the bottom sole down here is a little bit thicker. It feels like rubber. It just feels cheaper. This entire shoe, even though I still like the 2010 Hyperdunk, it feels just cheaper in every single way than the 2008 Hyperdunk. I think Nike kind of, I wouldn't say cut corners, but it kind of feels like they cut corners on the shoe. Everything just feels cheaper than the original version. They could have kept this one in the factory, even though it's not a bad shoe. I played in this shoe a lot. I like it a lot. But compared to the 2008, this is a major letdown from the 2008. Next is the 2012. I believe this is the 2012 Hyperdunk. I'm pretty sure it's 2012. This one I actually got Nike ID'd. So y'all can see the work on your game that I got put on the Hyperdunk tongue. Ordered these from Nike for extra, what was it, extra $80 to get ID'd. I don't know if anybody even still gets Nike ID shoes. I don't anymore because they just take too damn long. But the fly wire technology is still there. They kind of put the stuff on the outside this time. These were super soft. The inside of these shoes were very soft, kind of remind me of a pair of Jordans. how soft they are on the inside. The design is okay, very basic overall, much thicker. The shoe just feels a whole lot thicker. It feels a little bit more heavier. Overall, the shoe just felt heavier. It felt more sturdy, kind of like a pair of LeBrons, whereas the original Hyperdunks, they very light. They feel like the type of shoes that somebody like a Kobe. They fit the style of a Kobe. These started to feel more like a pair of LeBrons in that they were much thicker and they felt heavier on my feet overall. Maybe I was just the way I felt. Maybe it was just the way my body was, maybe my playing style at the time, but overall these shoes just felt thicker and heavier. Wasn't as big of a fan of these. These actually were also the ones with the, once they start doing that sensor, where you could put the sensor in the shoe. Remember when Nike had that Nike Plus technology? You put the sensor in there, then you had the app, and then Nike basically phased that whole thing out because it didn't catch on as well as they thought it would. The people actually at Nike told me that when I was at the Summer Series in 2013. They said, yo, that whole thing didn't catch on the way they thought it was, so Nike's phasing that out. And one of the guys there told me, like, Dre, you got pairs of those shoes, keep them because they're going to be worth a lot of money in the future. So this is the pair that I played in. But I had another pair. I actually had two pairs of the same shoe. Won't tell you how I came about to have two pairs of the same shoe. But I had two pairs. One of them I never played in. I still got it in a box. So these were the ones that I had played in. These were the 2012. Not a huge fan of these. They were okay. I'm a big fan because they got to work on your game. But as far as the design and the play of them, not a huge fan. Next is the 2013 Hyperdunk. These I got at the Nike Summer Series game. These were the James Harden signature edition, not this actual one. There was one that was actually with his signature on it. The players on the other team that year got that, while we got the ID Nike KD6s, or yeah, KD6s. These are not bad. The design I like a whole lot better. They still kind of followed the same trend as the 2012 in that they're a lot thicker. They felt a lot heavier. These shoes just had a dead feel to them. They didn't have any bounce. When I played in the 2008 and the 2010 Hyperdunks, they had bounce in them, which meant when I'm running and jumping, I felt extremely bouncy playing in those shoes. I never felt bouncy playing in the 2013 Hyperdunk, ever. They just got a dead feel to them. It's kind of like when you hit the ground. It's kind of like you bounce a rubber ball, a basketball, on a hard surface. It's going to bounce back up. These shoes don't have much bounce to them. They just felt dead. When I hit the ground, it felt like my whole energy just got absorbed right through the concrete or through the hardwood. None of it got returned back to me through the shoe. I don't know, maybe that was just my body. Maybe it's just my playing style at the time that I had the shoe, but I don't think so. I think the design of the shoe had a whole lot to do with that. These shoes just felt heavier. They felt thicker. I like the way they look, but they just don't have that the same life, quote unquote. They don't have that life to them. I don't like this tongue. Not a fan of this tongue that they had here. The shoelaces are cool. Again, these look good. This is a pair of shoes. If I had more than one pair of these, I would wear these like in the mall. I wear these off the court too. I never wore these off the court. Mostly just played them on the court. The grip on these is excellent. Never had any problems with grip. As you can see, they're pretty clean. Most of the gym surfaces I play on are relatively clean. Inside, I think this sole is just kind of, I don't know, just a dead sole. It's just a cheap sole. And the shoe is heavier than it was before. So the Hyperdunk started to get heavier from that 2008 to 2010 to 2012 to 2013. The shoe just seemed to keep getting heavier and heavier, which I didn't like. But still a fan of the Hyperdunk line overall in the 2013. But this is not one of my favorite shoes. I have this shoe in my selection of on-court shoes, but rarely do I actually choose it. Now, 2014 Hyperdunk. The 2014 Hyperdunk, this is the worst Hyperdunk that Nike made. I am 0% a fan of this shoe. I didn't like it at all. Number one, I don't like the way this shoe looks. This colorway actually is kind of whack. I chose the colorway, so I'll take the blame for the colorway. But the actual design of the shoe, the way that it looks, this two-tone colors here on the front of the shoe, this sucks. That's absolutely terrible. Not a fan of that. This, I don't know, this Batman shit they got on the tongue with the two ears sticking up, I don't like that. This back of it with the little lines kind of highlighting the Nike Elite socks look with the dots going up the back. I don't like that either. I don't like the way this shoe feels on my foot. It feels kind of boxy. It feels like a rectangle. It feels like you're putting your foot inside of a rectangle. The grip is excellent. Look at that completely clean bottom. And I played in these shoes a whole lot of times despite the fact that I don't like them. I played in them a couple times. The outside feel over the outside of the foot, this mesh here, the Flywire technology seems to have disappeared. I don't know if this is Flywire. This is not Flywire. This is just some mesh shit. I don't like this at all. These shoes are, yeah, I'm not a fan of these at all. Nike just completely dropped the ball figuratively speaking, on a 2014 Nike Hyperdunk. Not a fan of these in any way, shape, or form. What is this this plastic shit over here? Yeah, it's hard to see it because they neon green, they so bright. It's this plastic stuff they got here going on the side. I don't know what the hell that is. This is just a terrible shoe overall. So Nike, I'll give Nike a pass though. They put out 4 shoes before that were all pretty good. So I figured either this is the end of the Hyperdunk line or they're gonna come back with something better. But 2014, not a fan at all. 0 out of 10. And this is the 2015 Nike Hyperdunk. Y'all just saw the video I put out last week of this. I'm not a huge fan of it. As I said in my Instagram post, Instagram is at Dre Baldwin if you don't know. Not a huge fan of it, as I said before, but it is definitely an improvement over that crap that was a 2014. This here is much lighter. They went back to their original roots by making the shoe light again. Now what they did do is kind of copy the Kobe 9 design by making it higher up. They got the little lines going up the side, kind of like the Kobe 9 did. I like this tongue. It's a much softer tongue. The one complaint I had about these shoes is, number one, where's the fly wire technology? I don't know if that's this stuff on the side. I don't know. Y'all can correct me if any of you do know. Inside it feels pretty comfortable, but this outside shell here is it's hard. It kind of feels like paper mache. I don't know how to describe it, like cardboard. Not cardboard, because that makes it sound super cheap. It's not like that, but it's not great. The grip on here is pretty good. I played in these once and it was outdoors, all day outdoors. I probably won't even play ball in these. I'm not gonna play ball in these. I'm gonna wear these off the court. I like wearing these off the court. They got the Nike Air. I guess that's the Nike Air, the air bubble. Remember back in the 90s when we would all be hyped when our shoes had an air bubble in it. But these are thicker. They feel thicker and boxier, even though, despite the fact that they're actually lighter shoes, which is kind of crazy. I'm not a huge fan of these for on-the-court shoes. I'm really not. For a Hyperdunk, the Hyperdunk always reminded me of a guard's shoe, like a Kobe Bryant type guy, like a Bradley Beal type player, somebody who plays the guard position, somebody who's light and quicker on their feet. These shoes feel like something for a power forward or a center, somebody who's down low banging. They're too thick. They have too thick of a feel. Even though they're very light, they have a very thick feel. You compare these to the 2008s. These are sleek. These are fast. You feel explosive and quick wearing a shoe like this. Whereas this one, it feels like it plays slower, heavier, harder, and sturdier. Which is not a bad thing, depending on the type of player you are. But I'm not a huge fan of these for on-the-court performance. I think Nike could have did better with this. Hopefully in 2016 they can go back to their original roots. So that's it. That's my review of all the Nike Hyperdunk basketball shoes. So we got the 2015, we got the 2014, not a fan. We got the 2013, we got the 2012, we got the 2010, which was all right, but cheaper in every way, and we got the 2008. These are still my favorite. Arguably my favorite basketball shoe of all time to play ball, and the other two would be the Nike Shox BB4 and the Jordan 13. Yeah, 13. I think I got that right. I always try to remember the numbers. So this one, probably my favorite. Maybe not just this color, but just the design of it. So the black ones, the white ones, whatever color they came in. These favorite Nike Hyperdunks, super light. I wish these still had some grip, because I would break these out and play in them tomorrow if I could, but they ain't got no grip, so I can't hoop in these no more. My other 2 pairs are already dead and gone in the dumpster. So that's it. That's my review of the Nike Hyperdunks over the years. Let me know what you think. You got any critiques, questions, criticisms? Let me know down here in the comments to the video. Nike 2016, please bring back the idea, the feel of the original design. We want the fly wire technology back. We want a light shoe that's not doing too much with all the design shit. We just want a shoe that we can hoop in. Work on your fucking game. DreAllDay.com. Switch. Checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.